Jenna Elfman, I play June.
Garret Dillahunt, I play John.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
So it's good to see you survived. And
Well, we're assuming he survived.
I knew it, but in one piece it looks like. And I'm wondering, sort of now for the two of you, what your relationship is going to be in this sort of last part of season 4, and whether there's going to be more sort of bonding, or is it going to be more sort of
Season 5, right?
Season 5,
I was like, I
sorry.
think we're
Oh my god, sorry. Yeah,
5 already.
Why not that? Yeah, so basically, how kind of applicable the two of you can be together.
It's evident in the trailer, I believe.
Yeah,
A little bit.
You saw the trailer,
bit.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
As everyone will. If you want us to be together,
People who like John and June together will be happy. Let's say that. They're going to dig season 5.
So there's a lot more romance or something. It's not
You
just
see
the
them,
trailer.
they've evolved, they've contributed, they've had some time between season 4 and season 5. They've been together, the group's been together on these missions, trying to give aid and be helpful.
They decide to open the relationship, and there's a few orgy scenes, but it in no way affects their relationship. They're still like, I'm just happy to see you happy, babe. It's a lot of stuff like that. You'll love it.
You should ask her baby boom.
Sorry. Cut that off at the knees. She was being beautiful and articulate, and I went low. You see why we get along? See, she brings me up out of the gutter.
No, but I think that they're contributing to each other's evolution as characters very much. He's very healing, and I think a theme last year was very much like when you've given help to another, if you really watch, they've threaded beautifully, where then that help you attempted to give or gave circles back around, and you become the beneficiary of your own gesture of help to another. And so I think that that's going to evolve between the two of them. He's helped me so much that I think we get to see now. I'm now in a place and I've learned so many skills from him where I can contribute to him now too, and contribute to his well-being. And she's got a new constitution this year.
They were actually just talking about the overall theme of this season is about you guys trying to give help as a group, but then no one trusting you. So that's come back and frustrated your characters, because all your characters are trying to kind of get redemption for all the bad things you've done. So, and they said the conflict is going to be, how do you deal with that? So can you talk about your characters dealing with the frustration of trying to give help and having that kind of thrown back in your face?
One thing I've dug about what they've wanted from me, Ian and Andrew, from me in portraying June, she's been to the dark side and she's come out of it. With Morgan, healing. And she knows people can change. She knows what that darkness is. She's been it, and she's able to come out of it. So she knows it can be done. She knows people who have that darkness can change. And I think she's understanding what some of the recipe components are for affecting that change, because she received it from him. And I think that gives her a lot of reassurance and confidence in reaching out. And it's okay if someone isn't trusting. It's okay if they don't. I get it. It doesn't bother me if you don't think I can help you. I know you can be helped. So if you need it, it's okay. So I think she has a lot of that benevolence and confidence and tolerance, and is really evolved a lot since last year. It's beautiful. Excited for everybody.
Can you tell us about John's arc this season? Because last season he was so focused on finding June. Now that you guys are together, what does he do now?
Well, I think you sort of saw it happening toward the end of last season. There is a group, and we've made our home at that denim factory that you saw, and we're trying to find people, as you said, to help, because we feel fairly fortunate, I think, and even in all the hardships we've endured, we're enduring quite well, and I think that motivates us to want to share that with other people. And sure, it might be frustrating at times, but it's also expected. I wouldn't trust a bunch of people coming to my house. It would be really. It was hard for her to trust me when she came to my cabin. Just one guy, let alone, a giant group coming to your house. That would be. I would expect them to not. That we would have to win them over. And I think John is feeling particularly blessed. Not only has he survived, he's found love. He's found food. He seems really good at this. I don't know what his life before was like. Maybe we'll know about that at some point this season. But he's good at this. And that can also make you feel guilty, whether you should feel that way or not, because other people are less fortunate. So that might be something he has to wrestle with this season.
And now that you're on a new mission, I was wondering, what is your kind of new job? I mean, it looks like in the trailer you're in sort of a nursing position. So what are your kind of jobs in this new group with Morgan as leader?
I don't know, and I don't know if
I don't know what we
Morgan
can.
is a leader. Yeah, but it's a group of leaders.
It is a group of leaders.
But
Morgan's benevolence and determination to maintain that goodwill, all life is precious. I think he definitely is a tip of a spear on that, since last season, and he's sets a good example on maintaining that despite adversity. But he's given so much. That's such a gift he gives to everybody. He's bolstered us all up, so we all now have these great offerings in our own unique way. June's learned a lot of skills from Dorie. I can say that, which you'll see as the season goes.
Sharpshooter.
It's been a fun season.
she's a quick learner.
Yeah, she's competent. She's a trauma nurse. That's not a little occupation.
She was already pretty badass.
So have you taught anything to John? Has it gone both ways?
Yeah.
I think we're going to see some of that play out on what that might be. What her, what his gift of help comes back and he'll be the beneficiary of. What is that, for someone who is seeming so healthy in this apocalyptic environment, what might he need aid with? What contribution can I give to him?
Yeah.
I think we'll start to see what that might be.
What about working with all the kids? It looked like there were a lot of kids in that trailer that you guys are trying to help. Did any of you guys work with them?
I don't think we can say what pairings or what anything on that, but I think I love seeing this next generation. They have a completely different relationship to the apocalypse than the adults.
Right.
They're in their most intense formative years during this period of time. And I think it'll be interesting to see, we see some of it on Walking Dead too, this next generation, their point of view is completely different because they didn't really know before, hardly. And what it does to a child negatively and what we adults can learn from what they've learned and what some holes that are missing that an adult can fill for a child. That's so important. So important. A child cannot just grow up in this environment without love and without care and compassion. And it's such an important human factor that forms us as we go into our adulthood on how worthy of a human are you if you've never been given love, what love is and how expansive it is to the healing process.
With such apocalyptic shows and content, killing off women for man pain, and majority of them being male-centric, what does the woman's narrative bring to such apocalyptic stories, Jenna?
Well, I think women have always been warriors throughout time, always and forever, and always has been. Whether Hollywood decides to put that in the storytelling or not doesn't change the fact that in the course of humanity, going back since the beginning, women are warriors. There's many of them, many. And to be a mother, because I am a mother, I know how badass I am in life. Because I know what I am doing. I am raising these kids. I'm raising a husband. I'm raising a co-star. Being a working mother, and I think all women, even if they are not employed in the workplace, you're raising children. I mean, you are working. And I just think that women are so powerful, and they are 50% of the pie in humanity, and men need women, and we're so valuable. And I love the Walking Dead universe for giving women great stories and showing the stories that we are all living. I think it's funny that, you know, Hollywood can, by withholding the female story that is existing everywhere in the world, it makes you think that women aren't. It's a very insidious way to make less of women, to not tell their stories, which then makes it seem like they're less valuable in life because you're not seeing the stories told. Though the stories are being lived out daily everywhere in the world, women are superheroes. So I love that we are having these beautiful, poignant, strong, great, vulnerable, kick-ass chicks on these shows because they exist in life everywhere.
Awesome answer. Thank you. Speaking of vulnerable kick-ass chicks, obviously Alicia is great in the show, and I was wondering how, especially given the Clarks have now passed away and she's kind of on her own away, how she'll interact with you guys, or whether there'll be someone taking her under their wing in a way, just kind of looking out to her.
Well, I think in the season finale last year, we all are together. We all have our experiences. There is a good cross flow of contribution. I think everyone is more trusting of each other. We are not in group distrusting each other. It's a very healthy group that these characters have formed. And so there's not like this infighting, unhealthy situation anymore. So wherever people need help, it's freely given and offered because we know that's the way out. The way out is reaching out. And so I think she's benefited from Morgan so much, and I think she's seeing what her value is to the world, and that through that, it's like gradients, you grow on a gradient. So where you may ultimately end, you don't see it when you're here. You don't see it till you get closer, but you have to go through these gradients. So I think with each gradient, she's seeing what the next one might be. And so I think there's a very cool evolution for Alicia this season on sort of where she is initially on what she feels her contribution is, and then what she comes to realize through doing that, what might be next in terms of her evolution of health and well-being. So I think she goes through it. It's great.
I just going to ask what is the coolest thing that Dorie gets to do in your mind, like either last season or this season that you've hit it or whatever? Just, I don't know, just great shootout, something fun that your character gets to do?
Yeah. No, I loved how he was introduced to the series. I thought that was one of the finest introductions I've ever experienced as an actor. And I just loved that big open field, Morgan coming out of the woods, and Adam Suchitsky shooting the thing. It was like heaven.
Can you hit at anything this season?
I do lots of cool stuff this season as well.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys
Love
so
you guys.
much.
Can we take a quick picture of the